We are Gold Ivy.
Our mission is to empower you to own and unleash your truth.
Stories of resiliency are gold, and ivy grows in hard places.
Those hard places are what create space for light to shine through.
You decide what works for your daily life and how to transform our lessons into your gold.
This is Ivy Unleashed,
a Gold Ivy production.
We're coming at you with important information, warnings, and a solution. Sharing health and wellness gold with you is what we do. And so when we learned alarming information about devices that we routinely use, and we know you do too, we have to share it with you.
What most people don't realize is that the electronic devices we're using, cell phones, Wi-Fi, laptops, and Bluetooth, emit electromagnetic fields, or EMFs. The devices we're holding by our brains, on our skin, by our reproductive parts are emitting EMFs, and prolonged exposure to EMF radiation has been associated with potential health concerns, including neurological effects, impacts on reproductive health, and sleep disturbances.
Those studies alone are a cause for pause. But also, the International Agency for Research on Cancer that operates under the World Health Organization has classified non-ionizing EMFs produced by electronic products like cell phones, smart devices, and tablets a possible human carcinogen. Yikes.
And our solution? SafeSleeve. SafeSleeve anti-radiation products are designed to give you peace of mind of knowing you and your devices are protected while making your devices even easier to use. All of their anti-radiation products incorporate their lab-tested shielding technology that can block over 99% of RF and 92% of ELF radiation. And that's important because the vast majority of products that claim to block EMF radiation either don't have any testing at all, or they only block a small portion of the harmful frequencies.
We absolutely love the sleek look of these stylish products. They come in a variety of styles and colors. For our phone cases, I picked black, Andrea picked tan, and they include a built-in wallet with RFID protection and a magnetically detachable inner case. They're also anti-radiation products for tablets, iPad, and laptops.
We are pumped because we have been looking for a brand to help protect ourselves and our loved ones from this radiation for months. My kiddos have the iPad cases. Searching for a brand with stylish phone cases, colorful iPad colors, and functional headphones for our workouts so that we can enjoy our devices but also not have to worry about how they're harming us.
And without a doubt, it's time to protect ourselves. Grab your SafeSleeve phone case today and any of their other groundbreaking products at safesleevecases.com and use our code GOLDIVY for 15% off. Keeping the flu and common cold out of your household is important whether you're 5, 35, or 95, and we're going to tell you the easiest and most delicious way to do just that. It's with All Things Elderberry, a woman-owned business that has all-natural, vegan-friendly, and gluten-free elderberry products.
And when we say products, we mean a variety of delicious and beautiful products, not just for you, but for your entire household to get an immunity boost. If we had to pick our favorite product, I'm going with organic elderberry gummies. My kids are obsessed. We're trying to avoid sickness from school and make sure they can participate in their sports, so they take one every morning before they brush their teeth. They think the gummies taste like a mix of grape and cotton candy. I tried them too, and I can see why they ask for them every day. I love that they're boosting their immune system at the start of their day.
My favorite All Things Elderberry product is the elderberry green tea paired with the elderberry honey. The green tea gives me a midday boost, and the honey gives the tea extra sweetness. I also put the honey in my morning coffee instead of creamer. So good. All Things Elderberry is my solution for staying healthy before traveling, avoiding frequent colds and sinus infections, really just maintaining my health all year round.
What sets this brand apart from the others is there are no artificial additives in All Things Elderberry. Their elixir is made with organic, Missouri-grown elderberries, raw honey, and whole spices.
Elderberries not only help with immune support, but may also slow the aging process with their powerful antioxidants, improve skin health, and can shorten the duration of severity of colds and flu.
Visit allthingselderberry.com to explore their full range of immune-supporting products. Stay healthy and feel your best naturally. Use our code GOLDIVY at checkout for 15% off your first order. That's code GOLDIVY at checkout for 15% off your first order. And now to this episode of the Ivy Unleashed podcast.
Welcome back to the Ivy Unleashed podcast. Today we're going to have some fun.
I'm already laughing about this.
We're going to share some things that maybe the other person doesn't know about each other. Specifically, 3 things we've done for our health that we would never do again.
Never again.
Never again.
Never again.
So we're debunking some myths, some fads, and this is going to be fun.
Okay, do you want me to go first? Because I can't stop thinking about it.
Why am I scared?
So I think I was in high school, and at the time, my best friend Chas and I, we were really into hair care, and we were like, I just have naturally really dry hair.
Okay.
And she was like, she came up with this idea that we should mix together olive oil and eggs and just put it in our hair, and then we would have this shiny, beautiful hair. And it was so disgusting. Putting eggs in your, and then it was dripping down your face.
And you're convinced that this is going to do some magic shit.
I know. It's you're so gullible. It was probably in a magazine that we read, or, Cosmo or something.
Yeah.
I would never do that again. It was so messy, and my hair is still frizzy and dry, so it didn't work.
What is it supposed to do? What's the science behind it? Do you remember?
I don't remember. I feel like olive oil, obviously, that's just you'd think that oil would help smooth it.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. And the eggs, I don't remember. There's protein in eggs, so maybe we thought the protein would just sink into the hair follicles.
Whose house did you do this at?
Hers. We did everything at her house. Yeah.
They probably, imagine a mother, imagine walking in on Core right now. Just eggs all over the room.
See, she would do something like that. She'd be like, oh, I heard about this face mask, and you can make, she's into that stuff too.
I mean, and she's looking after you, which we're getting into being, more natural girlies, that this stuff's going to happen. It reminds me of the banana peel, rubbing that on your face, and that's supposed to be natural Botox or whatever. You best believe I rubbed that peel all over my face. Sick. So disgusting. This does not count towards my 1, but I would add it as number 4. Never do that shit again.
Oh my gosh. Well, Cora she also hates bananas so much. She is revolted by the idea of eating fruit. She'll try a couple different things, but even in the car, she will not pass a banana back to her siblings. She won't touch it. Yesterday I made banana bread, and you know how you wait till they're black and then they're mushy? She was gagging. So I'm just thinking of her, and there's no way she would rub a banana peel on her face either.
Then you know that things really got too far down the natural way if she's rubbing a banana.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. I'm so gullible too. I see something online, and if someone else had a good experience, I'm I don't know until I try.
Yeah.
I got to try. The whole running a marathon thing.
Oh.
Now, there's a caveat to this one. So when I first was reflecting on this question, in big, bold letters in my head, I just saw run a marathon. And
so you're saying never again?
But now here's the caveat. So when I ran mine, when we ran ours together, we ran it when it was winter here. It was February. So we trained on a treadmill inside. That was terrible. Now, specifically, if I were to run one, the piece that I would not do is the aftermath, which involved Austin, Texas, a house on campus, heavily drinking, no recovery. We wanted to nap after. We didn't get to nap. I didn't do the Theragun that I brought. Looking back, what I really needed was a nap, a Theragun session, a Epsom salt bath session, a lot of water,
detox,
a full detox,
not tox.
Yeah, and maybe I'll change my mind, but right now I just the thought of running a marathon. I feel the pain in my body.
I think you'll do it after you have kids and things calm down a little bit, and you're I gotta prove that I could do it again. Or I want to show my kids I can do it. I see you doing it
when I have deep motivation.
Yes.
Yep. Right now, I'm trying to run again outside. I'm running 5 minutes straight, and I feel like I'm going to pass out. It's amazing how the body just, if you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah.
So running a marathon, I feel like a lot of people listening can relate. Did it once. I don't know, girlfriend.
Oh gosh, I finish a race. I'm when's my next one? It just feels so good to get that medal, and you just feel so proud of yourself.
And speaking of bananas, there was that sign that said, "You're doing all this for a free banana." And in that moment, I really thought about my choices.
You were you know what? You're onto something. You were onto something here. Oh, okay. My next one, I will never do this again for my health. And obviously I won't do this for my health, but my friend Liz and I, we had babies at the same time. And both with our second, we just like, our milk supply wasn't as hefty as our first time around.
Okay. Oh God,
we were breastfeeding. And so we looked up like, how do you bump up your milk supply? I think we were like both 9 or 10 months into breastfeeding and we just felt like it was dwindling. And we were like, we want to do this for a year, you know?
Yeah.
And so she was like, I heard brewer's yeast is something that you can drink that you can drink and it helps your supply. And I was like, well, I'll do anything.
See, this is when like you're gullible. Like your friend's like, I heard if you drink my pee, and you're like, as a new mom, I'm sure you're like, give it to me.
Yes. Yep. And it's like, my friend Liz is just smart and she just knows everything. So I just trust her. So, you know, you can like put brewer's yeast in things and like bake it, or you can like Britt puts it in the PNTY granola bars for the Mama May I. And like, there's different ways to do this, but how we decided to do it, we were like, it'll be most effective if we drink it. So we just poured it into water, a full pint glass, and chugged it. And it was so terrible. And I don't think it worked at all.
Oh my gosh. What did it taste like?
Like grainy, like it definitely needed to be mixed better. And it just tasted bitter and just nasty. Like I think we both gagged. It wasn't good. It was not good.
No, I don't like that.
Nope.
But it does remind me of just like the amount of random powders and blends like that I've tried that are just sick. I couldn't even tell you them all. But you're just so hopeful it works, and then you try it and you're like, did I really think that was going to do anything?
I feel like you could do 20 of these things.
Yeah. Hey everyone, Brooke here. One of my biggest goals for 2025 is to improve my energy, and I know I'm not alone in that. I also know I'm not alone in what I'm about to say next. Every morning when I wake up, the first thing I look forward to is my morning cup of coffee. What I don't look forward to is how much I rely on it to get me through the day and the stomach upset and crashes that come with it. I know it's hard on my hormones, energy, and stress levels, but man, is it a hard habit to break. Can anyone else relate? I want quick and easy, and I want energy. Saying goodbye completely to caffeine is out of the question for me, but trying it in a new way, that I'm open to. So let me tell you about my new obsession, Everyday Dose. Would you believe me if I told you my new morning cup of energy includes the following, and all in one simple scoop? We've got L-theanine, an amino acid that works to increase focus, balance insulin levels, metabolism, and lower stress and cortisol. We've got low acidity coffee extract, finally coffee that doesn't give me a stomach ache. Collagen protein to improve my gut health, skin, and nails. Chaga, a type of mushroom that supports immune system. And my favorite, lion's mane, a natural nootropic that helps reduce brain fog and boost my mood. In addition to it being the easiest and most effective morning routine, it's free of artificial sweeteners, additives, mycotoxins, and mold. I feel at ease knowing what's going in my body, all while feeling energized, calm, and focused all day. Check out their coffee starter kit. It comes with free gifts every month like a frother, gunmetal spoon, breathwork app, and more. Join Andrew and myself as we start our year and all 365 days with Everyday Dose. Visit everydaydose.com/goldivy and get your coffee starter kit delivered straight to your door. Use our code GOLDIVY to get up to 30% off your first order.
Who wants to know what I discovered that's an absolute game changer with my hormones, stress level, and quality of my sleep? I am not one to talk about supplements, but after learning all about magnesium, I have to fill you in. In May of last year, I tested my hormones and my doctor explained to me that most women are deficient in magnesium, how important magnesium is, and how the brand of magnesium matters. First, magnesium is involved in hundreds of biochemical reactions in your body. Cortisol regulation, take magnesium. Better sleep, magnesium. Muscle soreness and recovery, magnesium. Combat depression and anxiety, magnesium. The list of magnesium's benefits go well beyond those examples. I asked for the best brand of magnesium and my doctor said hands down, Smidge. She prefers Smidge because it's super clean and made in small batches. No fillers or common allergens and non-GMO. Smidge's magnesium is made with a premium form of magnesium called glycinate complex. After taking the 100 milligram capsule of Smidge Evening Magnesium every night for just a week, I noticed how much better I felt in the morning. Melatonin and other sleep aids can make me groggy or give me weird dreams. Smidge's magnesium has improved my energy levels, reduced my anxiety, and my digestive health has never been better. I do my best to take it every single night to keep reaping all the benefits. I'm telling you, Smidge Magnesium is a game changer. The majority of adult women are deficient in magnesium, and we don't want you to be one of them. To experience the health benefits of Smidge Evening Magnesium as soon as possible, go to getsmidge.com or find the link in the show notes and be sure to use code GOLDIV10 for a 10% discount. That's getsmidge.com and code GOLDIV10 at checkout, and let us know how great Smidge Magnesium makes you feel as well.
There's a lot of supplements I feel like that I've tried that, you know, you get so hopeful and when you don't feel good, like I don't regret any of it. But certain pills, like, I don't even know what comes to mind. But I think that the big umbrella under that is just believing that one supplement could heal all. You know, that like this is the end all be all. And looking more towards food as medicine, sunshine as medicine, instead of spending money on powders. I mean, I still take electrolyte powders and collagen and all that fun stuff. But these random things that I've never even heard of, I think I've gotten away from that. It's saved me a lot of money, and I think it's helped.
It's funny. I feel like we're on the opposite ends of the spectrum where, like, I'm adding things in because I was so anti everything. Like, no, I can just eat food and it will be enough to keep me healthy. And it's like, no, I actually am deficient in magnesium. No, I actually want a coffee that has things for my brain in it and protein in it. And
it's different when you know you're lacking certain things and then supplementing to fill that void. Because for years I just guessed and I'm like, oh, based on my symptoms and someone online, you know, oh, I struggle with that too. Oh, this is going to help. And going through and having the lab work done and then going through a doctor that's like, yes, do this, I think is just the way to go. Yeah. Now, not everyone has the means to do that. And so, you know, you do have to it's just situation by situation. But with that being said, something that my second one, I would say, is doing a cleanse. So the opposite of supplementing and getting rid of food. Like in college, we did a juice cleanse, and it was a bunch of our roommates.
So for like a week or like a day, or like how long do you do this?
I think it was like 3 days, and our fridge was just full of juices, and you just drank them. And like, there's so many of those on the market.
Like what, like
full of like vegetables and things like that. Oh. And I have so many clients that I work with that they do that, or things I see online. And when you restrict so much, you just end up doing way more damage because then you just binge. Yeah. Like that's been my experience time and time again. People I talk to. So I think believing like a cleanse is going to fix all. Now, do I think that like there's benefits to fasting and things like that? Absolutely. But anything that's like 3-day cleanse or liver cleanse or anything like that, I'm a little more hesitant now. Yeah. And I would say no. Or even like the juices in like the Target fridge aisle or even Whole Foods. It also just like does something to my stomach that I'm like, I don't know. Like who's making that? Where did that come from? I don't know. It's just kind of gross.
Usually they have a lot of sugar in them too, because they're like, you know, if you think about it, like instead of eating an apple, they're condensing like 8 apples into a drink. So how much sugar is in there compared to just like eating an apple that's full of fiber? And
yeah. So the cleanses, I'm out.
Oh, I've never done a cleanse. And never say never. I don't know. Sometimes, you know, you might have to for a colonoscopy or, you know, those types of things.
Now that I can get behind because that just cleans you right out. You take a bunch of, but then also it's like Gatorade and different things like that I don't know. But if you've been constipated for years and you get that out, there's nothing better, man.
Okay, my last one. I don't want to say I'd never do it again, but I think at this point I'm like 99% sure I'll probably never do 75 hard again.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Because I think, and I was thinking about it, it's like, it's not that it's bad for you or whatever. Like I had a great experience. I felt like I got a lot of clarity. But especially when you're a parent, it really is, you know, at least an hour and a half away from your family a day. And you can be strategic doing it before they get up or whatever, but like it ends up being, it's going to run into time with family. And it's just like an hour and a half a day for 75 days in a row of working out is a lot of working out. I don't think it's great for your hormones. It wasn't great for mine. There was things obviously I loved about it, and I showed myself I could do it. But I just don't think it's necessary. And I think because I found a better way to challenge myself with what I'm doing this year with tracking my miles and strength in yoga, where it's like, I'm trying to get more fit. I'm trying to build my muscle. I'm trying to be more toned, those types of things. Like that can happen without like so many rules.
Killing yourself.
It's more of like adding in more of like, okay, I want to add in a couple more miles. Okay, I want to add in one more yoga. Like that to me feels so much more like a fun game than I can't. And although there are perks to it and it created discipline, I don't think I'll do it again.
Yeah, I agree. I think the not having a rest day, even like towards the end, and honestly a good point of like throughout, I would just count 2 walks because we did it when it was nice out.
Yeah.
But even that of like, okay, you have to, like, what if you're not feeling good? Or like, is this actually helpful or is it adding way more stress? I think when I'm like in a rut, I think my brain goes to those challenges because it does do something mentally to like check it off the list and to follow through. But then a few days in, you're like, oh, like, is it realistic with the ebb and flow?
Yeah.
An hour and a half a day. How do you see that with marathon training? Because that's a heavy commitment.
Yeah, but for me with marathon training, it's only really heavy for like a month. And in that month, it's only really heavy one day a week.
Yeah.
True. And most of the time I try and plan it where it's like, okay, we just went to church. We just had lunch together. I'm going to wait a little bit for my food to digest and like go play outside with your friends and I'll be on this run over here.
Or you could do it on a treadmill and not have to like, I have to get outside when it's a thunderstorm out.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. And I think when I think about one day a week, I'm gone for a few hours. I'm like, bye, I'm going to go work towards chasing this dream of mine, pursuing something that means a lot to me, that makes me happy and is good for my body. And, I feel like it's a good example for my kids. They're proud of me, and it's like, I think if it doesn't always have to involve your family, sometimes it is good to get away doing the thing for yourself. Like I love that this is like just my thing.
Yeah. I think 75 hard is easier if you're a man.
Oh,
because I don't know. I just think like, I'm thinking how cyclical women are. Oh. And like there is something so healing about like being gentle with yourself around that time of the month.
Because you could have 3 periods during it.
Yeah.
If you like started on your period.
Or you could force yourself to not have a period because you're like picking a super strict diet and you're exercising so much and you're not sleeping because you have to get up an extra hour to work out. Like I just think how harsh it is. Like when I think about the female body and just like how I'm a lot nicer to myself when I do give myself grace to not work out.
Yeah.
Just a random thought.
Yeah.
Okay, my last one. So in the midst of doing all different sorts of alternative medicine things for my health, I saw a chiropractor, acupuncturist, did the coffee enemas, all of that would highly recommend.
Didn't you also do like somatic or energetic work or like something?
This bitch can read my mind. That is my thing I would not do again.
Oh, sorry.
I held this okay, so think of like this machine, and you hold a little stick at the end of it that's connected to the machine, and it reads like your energy deficiencies, and it tells you all of the foods that you shouldn't have, and the movements and the supplements you need. So I did that. And then similar, I did muscle testing, and I'm not fully against the muscle testing. However, what they wanted me to do that I didn't do is they wanted me to put food samples in a little test tube, and then I would come in and it was like $25 per food to test. And you put this tube on your belly, and then you're holding the electromagnetic tube. I don't even know what it is. And then they like test your strength. So like you push on my arm, and depending on how hard they're put or how strong I am, that tells like if my body likes it or if it doesn't. And looking back, I'm like, again, you're not gullible, but like you just, when you're really struggling, you want to believe what they're telling you. Attach to anything because like losing hope is the worst feeling ever. So someone gives you hope and you're like, oh yes. And it's worked for other people. So you could be the one. This could be the missing thing. It was not my missing thing. And it was expensive. And yeah, I mean, I could keep going.
It just makes me think of like, you're coming back home to yourself for your own answers. Like there's a time and a place for a physician, for a specialist, for acupuncture, like all of those things. Like they all do have healing properties.
Yeah.
But it's like, if you just listen to your body and you eat something and it's like not agreeing with it, then you can be like, okay, like you can learn yourself without holding onto a metal tube.
Yeah. But also like if you have a leaky gut, your gut is compromised. So you might eat one thing and it does well, but then that in combination to some other thing or that 3 weeks later, because that's the only thing you've been eating, that eventually then your body becomes sensitive to that. So it's so complex. And I think when you've tried to listen to your body and you've tried all these things, you're like, I can't do this on my own. Like I need someone else. I would recommend finding a functional doc that also has a background in Western medicine, maybe, that can do some blood work, maybe is covered by insurance. I think I've gotten a lot smarter, but holding the energy tube, it sounds so silly saying it out loud, but like
it ain't it.
It's a thing out there, man, and it's worked for some people.
Oh, so I don't know why I'm feeling called to say this, but I just want everybody who's listening to know that when you do talk with your doctor, your physician, no matter what kind of physician it is, that they're taking time to ask you questions and listen to you. Mm-hmm. I was just talking with a girlfriend last night at dinner, just how like, even in like a normal appointment that's not anything extensive that you need to do, just like feeling gaslit or feeling like they didn't even ask me anything, you know, and it's such precious time and it's expensive, you know, and it's like you scheduling it and then getting off work or arranging childcare or your day around this thing that you wait for months. And then like, just make sure that there's so many good doctors out there that want to help you and want to hear what's going on with you and want to help you feel good. Like they are out there. And if you don't have one, I just want to like shout out, keep looking or ask your friends for recommendations.
Yeah. Knowing that someone close to you has had a good experience, except for an OB that we don't need to get in the story, but that could be an outlier. Some doctors work for some people, some don't for others. It is hard though, because it's like therapists. You hear shop around, but that is time and money. And you're like, and then to like start all over with someone else. It's like,
but it's worth it if it's like, okay, they said that they listened to them. It was easy to get the prescription they were looking for or the testing that they were looking for, because sometimes it's like, you know, I just had the experience last year, 2 completely different doctors test me for similar things and 2 completely different answers, you know? And so it's like, you know, my next move is going to be, okay, I'm going to ask all my friends, what did you like about your doctor? What
like, do we need to get an 8th opinion? Because every doctor reads it different or does a different thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think there's something about feeling calm in the office with a person, feeling like you can ask them a question and they're not like rushing out of the room. And I just think that's so important.
Yeah.
But this was fun, kind of saying like silly things that we've done. And it kind of makes me want to try more things just to see if it's a flop or not.
Yeah. See, I go in phases. I'm like very anti-supplements. And then I'm like, oh, okay, I attach. And then I'm like, no, too much. And I think I'm learning to just ride the wave of myself. Like, I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to ebb and flow. And that's okay. And it excites me to try new things. And yeah, just everyone listening, if you tried some weird shit, like, it's okay. Be nice to yourself. It's worth the experiment. You wouldn't have known if you didn't try.
And the intention behind it is to feel and look our best, right? And so why not try things as long as they're safe?
Yeah. But let us know what you've tried. I want to feel a little better about myself here. If you could drop it in the comments. Yes. The weirdest thing you have done for your health that you would never do again.
Yes.
Drop it in the comments.
All right. And setting you off with your piece of gold today is from Glennon Doyle. She says, Every life is an unprecedented experiment. This life is mine alone. So I have stopped asking people for directions to places they've never been. There is no map. We are all pioneers. This is Gold Ivy signing off.
Listen to your truth and go chase your gold. We want to thank you and encourage you to celebrate yourself for taking the time to learn and get inspired in your one beautiful life. And if this podcast means something to you, it would mean so much to us if you'd be willing to take 30 seconds to help support our mission to keep bringing you inspiring stories and guests.
First, following the podcast is important because it helps you never miss an episode. To do this, just go to the Ivy Unleashed podcast show page on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. And then just tap the plus sign in the upper right-hand corner or click on follow.
While you're there, if you'd be so kind to give us a 5-star rating and review and share your favorite episode with a friend, we'd be so grateful for your support.
We are thrilled you're here and are so happy that you're taking time to prioritize your wellness, self-discovery, and growth with us. Additionally, we want to remind you that this podcast is presented solely for educational and entertainment purposes. We are not licensed therapists, and this podcast is not intended as a substitute for the advice of a physician, professional coach, psychotherapist, or other qualified professionals.